Initiating C.O.R.V.U.S file transmission sequence.
Let's start this whole thing off with a shout out to Keyerra for being an excellent Birdkeeper, and for doing the introduction for the Birdkeeper archives, which is what these are. As you guys know, every 2 weeks a new episode drops, and in between that we do one in-between episode, maybe two, depending on whether or not I can get my act together. Haha! I do rather a lot, so it might take a little bit of time to get some of those up, but I will get them up as quickly as I can, and I hope that that is acceptable for people. Now, I wanted to start off with a couple updates. So, right now, if you are listening to this, right now, in the background, what you are hearing is the RedWing theme song. Yes, you heard me. RedWing's theme is what you're hearing behind me right now, and that was composed by the fantastic, wonderful, amazing Nico of We Talk of Dreams. Thank you so much, Nico, for making such an amazing song, and quite literally making a dream come true for me. It has always been a dream of mine to have a song that, for all intents and purposes, is my theme song. Okay, obviously, it is not exactly my theme song necessarily, but it might as well be, and I've always wanted, like, a piece... Basically what I'm saying is I've always wanted a piece of music that I was able to commission and have customized to me and to the things that I love, and this is just such an amazing gift, and I really appreciate it so much. And in the next coming weeks, we're gonna have more of it, which is really exciting. Like, insanely exciting. Like, I cannot begin to express to the listeners how excited I am for all of the things that are coming. So, sorry guys, I'm a little bit sick and sniffly at the moment, but, so, one of the things that we've been working on, is, well, I guess really, for lack of a better way to describe it, what we're working on right now is actually, you know what? I can't tell you that yet. I can't tell you because it would be a spoiler for me to tell you, so I'm not going to tell you, but there is another version of this, basically, that is coming out that is going to be really cool, and you're going to start to hear this in the background of the story. So I really hope that, if you are a podcaster out there, and you would like to work with someone who is going to do amazing work for you and give you original music that is genuinely wonderful and amazing, you should talk to Nico, and you should talk to him immediately, because he does amazing work, and I'm so impressed, and also, that I appreciate him, like, not freaking the hell out when I randomly one night sent him like 50 messages about about multiple themes that I was thinking about, and like the potential for a musical episode in season 2, which also, spoiler, there's gonna be a season 2. That's not a spoiler. I'm sure I've told you that before. I've already started writing season 2. And actually, that's news number 2. News number 2 is that I've started writing season 2. I'm really excited for it. I have a deadline for it. The deadline for me finishing the writing for season 2 is June. I'm gonna say my sister's birthday, which is June 2nd, is the deadline date for, if nothing else, the first draft for this. And the reason for this is that I want to give the actors more time to be able to get the work and actually, have time to record it. And the summer just seems like there will be more time for that. And so, yeah, so I'm going to be, even though my schedule is crazy and everything in my life is total chaos at all times, I'm going to be working on that for the next few months, and it should turn out really great. I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys like the rest of Season 1, and then I hope you guys come back for Season 2, which is going to be just as lit as Season 1, I promise you, if not more so. So, yeah, that's that. Now, another update. Okay, so I got a request from one of you guys for me to put up a Patreon page. So, guess what? I put up a Patreon page! Yay! So if you like what you've been hearing, and you want more of this, and you want this to be able to continue, please check us out on Patreon. It is patreon.com/RedWingPod, because, you know, should be easy to find, right? So if you go there, there are multiple different tier levels and different rewards at those tier levels. Whatever you can give is greatly appreciated. And if you would like to, taking a page out of Wine and Crimes book here, if you would like to make a one-time donation, you can go to redwingpodcast.com /donate, I believe, and you can do a one-time donation via PayPal on there if you would like. I really appreciate all of the support. This has been genuinely amazing. Wow. This is just too cool. Like, you guys are just amazing as human beings. And there are various different levels that one can support this show at. If you, well, I outlined all of it on Patreon, but there are you will basically always get a shout out on this episode, but you might start to get, like, at a certain level, you will actually get a supporting producer level spot wherein I will thank you on the regular show, which is super cool. And also related to that, we have merch. We have merch! Yes! You can you can now put the RedWing logo right on your chest, much like the actual hero RedWing has the logo right there on his chest. You can have that too. So if you would like that, if you would like to have some merch, I will tell you, I just ordered my shirt, like, yesterday, and I'm so excited. Might be a little bit of a delay in terms of having the order get to you, and that is actually another reason that I want to encourage you guys to support us as much as possible, if whatever you can donate. And the reason I want that is because, one, I want to be able to give all of the actors t-shirts. That's just a thing that I want to be able to do for all of the people that were involved in this. I want to be able to give them something, and that thing that I want to give them is, I want to give all of them a t-shirt. At this current moment, that's what I would like to do. I personally do not have enough money to do that, so the more you guys donate, the more I can say thank you to this amazing cast who has helped me put this together, who has been absolutely wonderful. And the other reason that I would like for people to potentially give that monetary support is because I don't want to use the service that I'm using right now for merch. Now, I say currently, by the way, you can find our merch at teespring.com/redwingpod, and that's where our merch is right now. Teespring has a little bit of a weird-ish history of taking people's art. Like, for example, with the dollop, I personally don't necessarily think that that's a thing that's going to happen to this show, especially since I'm on there using them right now. But I just really want to, I would much rather support a local business. So, the area that I live in, there are a lot of really cool businesses. I would like to send this off to, there's a particular business I would like to see if they will be willing to potentially do this. There's a particular place that I think will do print-on-demand t-shirts. I'm not sure. And if I go and check with them and they can't do print-on-demand shirts, then I want to just sort of order a batch of them, and I want to, be able to just handle orders out that way. which might mean me actually mailing things, which may or may not make things cheaper depending. I don't know. Just ultimately, I don't necessarily want to go through just some online store somewhere where I can barely actually check on the quality of the thing. I would much rather work with someone that I actually get to meet and talk to in real life, and there are a few businesses near where I live that provide that service, but a lot of them don't do print on demand because they're smaller businesses, and that's just something I just really want to support. Small businesses, especially small businesses run by people of color. That's just an important thing to me, and I would like to be able to do that. So again, if you can contribute on Patreon, your money's going to go to that, and thanking the cast for all of the amazing stuff that they've done, and also supporting me with maybe potentially taking a little bit of time off work so I can actually finish editing and recording things, because that takes a really long time. But yeah, anyway. So, alright, so that's that. Now, I wanted to do something kind of fun-ish today. And I wanted to... Oh, actually, no. Hold on. First things first. I wanted to talk to you guys about one of the new characters that you met in this last episode, episode 3. So, you guys met a character named Kit in this past episode. They are a really... they're a character that shows up from time to time in this season, but I'm hoping they will show up a lot more in this upcoming season. It was really important to me to include a non-binary character. Partially because my own identity is technically non-binary. That's why it's really important to me to include a character such as Kit. But also, it was really very specifically done that Kit's pronouns are they, them. And there is a reason for that is actually... Well, there's obviously the character reason of that character is non-binary, so it's logical that these might potentially be the pronouns that they might use, but it actually goes beyond that. I wanted Kit to be the voice of the people. Kit's voice should stand as a representation of the detractors, the people who don't necessarily think that Jordan is all that awesome or all that wonderful. These are the people who keep Jordan accountable. So, all of those criticisms that you heard of Jordan are actually mostly fair. Especially when you consider the fact that he is a public figure who has not told most of that to the people. So you got to hear Jordan being frustrated about needing to be held accountable, and I just want you to remember that. I want you to remember those conversations that they were having. I just want you to remember that, because I think that's going to come up again at some point. And, I don't know, it's important. It's an important thing to make sure that your heroes are held accountable, that your public officials are held accountable, especially in times like today, let me tell you something, actually. That scene in particular, I wrote that scene way, way, way before this administration situation happened. I wrote this scene before Donald Trump was even running. I wrote this before all of that. Now, it has always been important to me in terms of politics and things like that to make sure that whoever you vote for, that you are holding them accountable, that you are holding every single person who is a public figure, who is potentially a celebrity, who is a politician, all of those people, and even also, not even public figures sometimes, just the people in your life, that you are holding people accountable to the things that they promise, to the things that they say, because those promises are the sole reason that they got to where they are, and that they convinced you that they should be where they are. So if they have decided that they're going to prove themselves untrustworthy, that's, you know what I mean? Like, that's not great. So I want to urge all of you out there to hold the people in your life accountable who need to be held accountable. That's just... I wanted to just briefly talk about Kit and talk about why Kit is there. Now, I wanted to talk about another thing, which is Scarlet. So, I don't know if we have... you know what? I actually don't think I expressly mentioned it in the show, necessarily. Scarlet... Okay. If the question is, what is Scarlet's sexual orientation? I have a feeling that is a question that somebody out there has, and look, a lot of the characters in this show, I've just sort of made a declarative statement about what their sexual identity is. For Scarlet, I will say that it is a little bit harder to determine very specifically what her sexual identity is. What I can tell you is that this little thing with Joanna that she might be starting, that might be an indication of where she leans at this current moment, but that hasn't always necessarily been the case, nor will it always be the case in the future. But definitely that's where we're starting from. I hope you really enjoyed Scarlet. I want to give a shout out to Christine, who, I've known Christine, I guess at this point, for a little under 2 years, and Christine was one of the first people that I asked to be a part of the RedWing project. Dane was actually the first person that I asked to be a part of this project, and Christine was second, and Simon was third, and John was fourth, I think. No, John was actually later on in the process, but that was more because I have a huge, it's really complicated to ask someone to play your love interest in a story. It's just odd to... It's a weird thing as a person who is writing something, who is directing something, and who ultimately will be playing that character, to ask another character to play their love interest. For some reason, that is just weird. But I ultimately had to just buck up and do it, and John has done an amazing job. I think you're going to... you've already heard it, actually. You've already heard the quality of his acting, and he's just an amazing person, and I'm, so grateful that he actually found the time to do all of this and to record, and he's just super amazing. And then I think the fifth person that I asked actually was Chris, actually. Chris was the fifth person that I asked, and Chris said yes, literally immediately. And Chris is super amazing, and I love the voice that he chose. I can't actually begin to explain how much I love the voice that he chose for Jared. Jared, that is the exact voice that Jared has. It's perfect, and it's wonderful. But yeah, Scarlet, okay, so the other thing too is that, I wasn't, I'm not super nervous about this or worried about this at all, but I can understand how... Well, actually, okay, here's what I will say. Listen, I know that some of y'all are listening from not in this country right now, from not in the country that I'm recording all of this in right now, and there are quite a few of you in the UK, and hi everyone out in the UK. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for listening. Yay, I love you guys so much. Yay! But what I'm just going to say is, I didn't call a lot of y'all. I didn't call a lot of y'all when I was looking for characters, when I was looking for voice actors to play certain characters, and Christine, I know Christine as a person, and that is actually the reason I asked Christine to play Scarlet very specifically is that Christine, in a lot of ways, is like Scarlet. And one fun special fact, if you follow the Twitter page, which I'm hoping you do, because if you don't, you're missing a lot, and you should go check that out. But on the Twitter page, I mentioned that it took me a long time to write this scene with the tarot, and all of that. And Christine is the first person that I thought of to be like, okay, Christine, I need you to tell me if what I researched for hours on end is right in terms of, like, how this would have gone, how you could have read these, like, is this how this would have gone? And while we were recording that sequence, it was, like, she told me that I did a good job on it, and I was really, really pleased. But that should speak a little bit to why I wanted Christine to do this character, who does have a little bit of a strange accent, because she has a little bit of a weird history. But I just, like, I know that to native ears, it might not, like, to native ears, the accent might sound a little odd. And I just wanted to clarify that there is a specific reason that we went with that accent in particular. It'll come up in the story, and you will get to hear it relatively soon. So, don't worry, don't freak out. It is not that I didn't want to use a British voice actor. In fact, actually, for season 2, I'm gonna need some of y'all to reach out to me, because I actually do need some British characters for the second season. So definitely, you'll hear on here when it comes time for me to start casting for season 2. So, yeah, just know that I'm gonna call y'all, especially potentially for other projects that I'm doing, because there are other projects I'm working on top of this right now, and projects that I'm going to be working on in the fall that are going to be really cool. So, anyway, I just really wanted to thank everyone. Also, it related to that, I wanted to talk about the sheer number of people from the sheer number of places that have people listening to this show. Like, shout out to everybody all across the United States who are listening to the show. There are so many of you, and my god, that was, whew! Like, when I went in to just look at the download numbers just real quick just to see, like, how we're doing, and I saw where we were at, y'all are rock stars, and I love you, each and every one of you, for all of it. Thank you so much. But on top of that, very specifically, looking out at the other countries, there are people on almost every single continent listening to this story. My god, like, that blows my mind, you guys. That really does. I can't, like, this is a story that I decided to make on a literal whim one day, due to the fact that I was, like, on a date with someone that liked superheroes just like I did. You know what I mean? Like, it's really big to me that you guys are supporting me as much as you are. Well, here I go getting teary-eyed about the people who are listening and supporting and leaving me really awesome messages and all of that. I love every single one of you for literally all of that, and it's super great, and my god, I'm so happy. This process has been a really difficult one and a really complicated process. I have zero background in being a producer. I have minimal experience in terms of writing for a production. This is my first experience with voice acting, right here. You are hearing it as it is happening. This is my first time doing that, and the reception that I've got for all of this is just wonderful. Honestly, also, this is a first experience for a lot of the actors in terms of voice acting. I'm just so happy. And we are all super happy. And one of the things that is coming in the upcoming weeks on this particular episode, like on these episodes, is going to be interviews with various cast members. So I'm going to try to let you know ahead of time when those are coming, but keep an eye on the Twitter page, and send in questions. Send me questions. So you can send in questions via Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, well, actually, it's a little difficult to do that on Instagram, but you can send it to Mixter Hyde on Instagram, and I'll get it there. But literally, you can send in the questions anywhere. Please do send in those questions. And it doesn't really matter who you have the question for, I will get it to them. If the question is for me, I will answer it as soon as I possibly can, but I'll probably answer it in audio form on here. But if it is a question for a very specific character, just let me know, and I will ask them to come on, and we will talk about it. It should be pretty great. Now, hopefully, the next one of these will include a conversation that I had with Stephen Pappas from Is This Adulting? That conversation is all about the fact that Stephen and I absolutely love Nightwing. Nightwing is my favorite superhero from the DC universe, as you guys all probably guessed at this point. Now, Nightwing has been my favorite superhero for a very long time, and we talked a lot about why that is, about why that hero in particular is so damn amazing. And we talked about our different journeys in terms of like mental health and all of that. If you aren't listening to Is This Adulting and you are a human being who suffers from mental illness, you should probably do so. Just it'll make you feel at home, so go do that. But that conversation with Stephen was really great. We had it just before the new year, and the only reason it hasn't come out yet is because I got really sick at one point over like the last few weeks, and I honestly just haven't had time to sit down and edit. So I'm gonna work on that, and I'm hopefully gonna get that to you guys in the next 2 weeks. And yeah, and also if you guys head on over to the Patreon page, you're gonna actually get some content early. You might, in fact, be getting episodes of RedWing out early. That's what I plan on doing. You guys will hopefully be getting that a couple days early. So that's sort of the general plan. I plan on having that set up there. Yeah. And also, the other thing that I plan on doing for people who are at a certain tier level is you will actually get access to the entirety of the show. Well, okay, within reason. Now, here's the thing. I have not finished editing every single episode yet, because that was editing 10 episodes when I got the last bit of audio from a character literally last week. So I can honestly tell you that I have not at all finished it yet. But in terms of editing, I'm up to episode 7, I think. And honestly, it's looking pretty easy from here on out in terms of getting the audio ready. So you can look forward to all of that being done really, 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 really soon. And I really hope that you guys take a look at the different tier levels. I believe that one is going to be, I think that one is 15 or more. If you give 15 or more a month, you will get access to all of the audio. All of the audio should be up by the end of February. So the last couple episodes you would be getting as they sort of roll in, but if you go up there now, you can get 4, 5, and 6, which is pretty cool. So, it's worth going and checking out. So you should do that. Anyway, I'm gonna stop trying to plug Patreon right now, but I want to thank you guys so much for all of your support and all of your kind wishes and everything else. Thank you guys so much, and stay safe out there, and fly high, heroes.
C.O.R.V.U.S file transmission completed successfully. Initiating rest mode. Fly high, heroes.